All right, welcome back, deep divers. We are absolutely still buzzing, honestly, kind of vibrating from that incredible sit-down we had at Sugar Palm.
Oh, yeah. Seriously electric.
You know, with the HHN girls, DJ River, Tala, Zongsky, Leona Murray, Melody, it just all in the room. The energy was just off the charts.
Right, and Sofia Luna, wow. She opened up a whole new way of seeing things for us.
Totally.
Get
That
them.
conversation, it went way deeper, felt more urgent than I ever imagined. Like, it wasn't just talking about film anymore. It was like she handed us a master blueprint for understanding how stories are literally shaping and, yeah, sometimes warping our entire reality right now.
It really was transformative. Sophia, I mean, as assistant creative director at Neon Vision Studios, her background is insane, right?
Yeah.
Paramount, Sony Music, Balenciaga, plus her own stuff with Aura by Sophie.
Yeah.
She really did act as our guide. Her insights just let us see the architecture of influence, the quiet stuff that shapes culture and how Daniel L. Bates's universe is built to push back against all that.
And the way she introduced the Sentinels, I mean, my brain, naturally, it goes straight to superheroes punching bad guys, right? Like, that's the easy default.
Sure, the standard trope.
But Sophia made it so clear this wasn't just another action flick idea. This felt like a groundbreaking, almost uncomfortably honest new mythology, designed for right now.
Exactly. It's like a strategic rethink of what heroism even means in this super connected, hyper-globalized world we're in.
Yeah. It's not about the capes or the powers so much as it is about the ground beneath our feet, the stories we tell ourselves, the identity we cling to.
Totally. And what's really captivating here is how the Sentinels taps into something really primal in all of us. This deep human need to belong, right? To find something authentic, something rooted, especially when everything feels like it's blurring together.
Oh, man, the smoothing out.
Yeah, getting smoothed out into one big homogenous thing. You know that feeling, trying to carve out your own space online while every algorithm is pushing you towards the same trend, the same look.
Ugh, yes, all the time.
It perfectly mirrors our own struggles, right? Online versus offline identity, navigating those lines that keep getting blurrier. It feels so resonant because it's our story, just, bigger, more cinematic.
Man, the smoothing out part really got me. It's like, are we just becoming data points? So, okay, that's our mission today. We're diving deep into the Sentinels and some of the other, electrifying whispers from the Neon Vision Studios slate, fresh from that sit-down.
Let's do it.
We're going to unpack the hidden meanings, the psychological stuff, and just the sheer audacity of this vision. This isn't just escape. It's about understanding the world we're actually living in. Okay, let's really unpack this.
Okay, so if we zoom out a bit, Daniel Bates, through Sophia's vision, is basically laying out this core philosophy with the Sentinels.
Right.
Cultural identity itself is the main battleground now.
Right.
Think about, the history of superhero stories. Captain America, he pops up as the symbol of wartime nationalism, right? Clear symbol of a nation's resolve.
Yeah, totally. Flag suit, shield, the whole deal.
Then you get the atomic age. Heroes like the Fantastic Four show up, dealing with flawed families, complex personal stuff, reflecting a world kind of on the edge. Each era gets the heroes it needs, basically.
And the Sentinels are what we need now.
Precisely.
Exactly. We went from clear good versus evil, then broken families and global threats, and now we're just knee-deep in the swirling, hyper-globalized soup. Everything's connected. Culture, money, conflict, it's all just one big, messy knot. The Sentinels totally flips the script here. The mission isn't just saving a city from an asteroid or, some dude in a weird suit. It's way more insidious. The new job, the real job, like Sophia said so powerfully, is stopping the world from becoming a homogenous, frictionless, and soulless marketplace.
Oof, that phrase.
Sends shivers down my spine still.
That phrase, soulless marketplace, it's not just catchy. It hits with this, deep psychological weight, doesn't it? It cuts right to that primal fear. Losing yourself, having your unique identity, your heritage, just reduced to a product, a commodity. It changes the whole nature of the threat. We're not talking villains you can punch or an army you can just, block with a shield. This enemy isn't a person. It's an abstract systemic force.
Yeah.
Way sneakier because it often just goes unnoticed.
So no clear evil mastermind with a secret volcano lair, right? It's like, instead of fighting a guy in a metal suit, you're fighting the invisible hand that makes everyone want the same sneakers because any other choice is just, inefficient. It hits home for me. We've all felt that
Yep.
pressure, haven't we?
Totally.
Constantly crafting an online identity, always optimizing yourself for clicks, for engagement, instead of just being yourself. It's the ultimate personal brand trap. You feel like you're starring in your own reality show, and everyone else is just product placement.
And that's exactly where the brilliance of NVS's vision lies.
Yeah.
It absolutely mirrors that universal feeling of being lost or invisible when the world just wants you to fit in, right? Fit into a neat little box.
Yeah.
The story argues that holding on to your authentic, messy, unique self, your cultural distinctiveness, that's maybe the most radical thing you can do. It's resistance against what Sofia called the insidious, quiet forces of neocolonialism hiding in plain sight, often dressed up as progress or modernization.
But how do you fight a whisper? Especially when it's telling you that your very essence is just inconvenient.
It's almost impossible to rally against, especially when it's that subtle. We're not talking tanks rolling in. It's a slow erosion, a chipping away at what makes a place, a people, a person distinct.
And it's so hard to even talk about, let alone fight, because it uses these nice seductive words like efficiency, streamlining, modernization.
Right. It's global branding gone rogue.
Exactly. Rebranding entire cultures, not just for market share, but until they fit some bland global ideal or just vanish. It's like cultural gentrification on a massive scale.
Which brings up this huge question. What's the psychological weight of fighting something that whispers progress while it's quietly stealing your history, your identity?
Yeah.
It's disorienting. It's designed to make you doubt your own value.
Yeah.
And that leads us straight to the main antagonist, the boardroom. What's really chilling is that it's not one bad guy. It's this decentralized thing. Shadowy VCs, data moguls, political fixers, private military contractors. It's the whole modern power structure, basically, woven into one insidious, hyper-rational machine.
And here's where it gets really unsettling. They don't think they're evil.
Nope.
They're not driven by malice. They are, like Sofia put it, ultimate rationalists. That's the creepiest part, isn't it? Because it's not about hate or ego. It's purely business, cold calculation, optimizing everything.
It's the architecture of control, refined to its most efficient, most dehumanizing form.
Their core belief in this incredibly twisted logic is that cultural specificity, your language, traditions, heritage, your soul, is just an inefficiency, a bug in the global system.
Precisely. They see it as market friction to be smoothed over, something to be eliminated to get to one single global consumer base. It's the ultimate market optimization play, like a tech giant absorbing every competitor, but for entire cultures.
You see echoes of it in real-world global branding, right? This push for universal products, universal stories, where anything local is just an obstacle.
It's the influencer dream, writ large, where everyone watching the same thing, wearing the same thing, thinking the same thoughts, becomes the optimized, most profitable ideal. And it just strips away agency.
Oh, it's just optimizing humanity for profit. But what does that do to us on a deep human level? What happens to memory, belonging, the stories that make us who we are? If your uniqueness is just inefficiency, what's left?
It's terrifying. A kind of cultural erasure that leaves this hollow echo.
It's like they take your ancestral memories, digitize them, sell them back to you as premium NFTs, and you're left with this weird, empty feeling, a ghost of a past you can't quite grab.
And their methods, the weapons they use, they aren't guns and bombs in the old sense. They're these subtle, insidious 21st century tools.
Right.
Way more impactful than any army.
Okay, like what?
Absolutely. The first one is what they call disaster capitalism, but like turned up to 11. The boardroom doesn't just profit from tragedy, they engineer it.
Whoa.
Sofia shared this harrowing example from the story. In Puerto Rico, they use experimental weather tech to cause a natural disaster, a huge hurricane. This lets the boardroom swoop in with aid, which is really privatization contracts, stripping the island of its autonomy, its resources, its soul.
The sheer betrayal in that.
Right.
Weaponizing suffering on that scale. You go through hell, and the very people who secretly caused it show up offering a solution that just tightens their grip, enslaving you while pretending to rescue you.
It shatters trust completely, turns survival into a transaction, a debt, profoundly traumatizing for a whole community.
Exploiting vulnerability for profit, it's the ultimate power move. Create the crisis, be the only savior, become the new owner. Feels uncomfortably close to stuff we hear about even now.
Then there's cultural appropriation as erasure. This one is particularly sneaky. They fund what look like helpful preservation efforts, but they're actually resource extraction missions in disguise.
How does that work?
Using the Philippines as an example, the boardroom funds projects that secretly let them map, catalog, and basically claim ownership of cultural heritage. They want to own history, put a price on priceless artifacts, turn ancestral power, deeply spiritual stuff, into a quantifiable, marketable asset.
It's not just stealing artifacts, it's rebranding theft as philanthropy. Intellectual property theft, but for culture.
Exactly. They absorb the value, monetize it, and doing that erases the original context, the independent power and meaning it had.
And the emotional pain of that, having your culture saved by the people who want to own it, control its story, not really understand it, it's silencing. A collective trauma, turning living traditions into sterile museum pieces under their corporate thumb.
It's like they take your most cherished family photos, stick them in their corporate archive, and then charge you admission to see your own history.
Ugh.
Exactly. And the third set is technological feudalism. In places like South Korea, in this story, it's not about armies. It's about controlling nations through data, infrastructure, and IP.
So like owning the patent on the super soldier serum their military uses, or the algorithms running their smart cities.
Precisely. Complete societal control without a single soldier on the street, no shots fired, just subtle, almost invisible subjugation.
And living under that constant surveillance, the feeling that invisible algorithms are nudging you, shaping your choices, your desires, it creates this deep anxiety.
Powerlessness.
Your whole life is just a data stream they manage, optimize, exploit. You lose autonomy without even realizing it's gone.
It's the digital dystopia, fully baked. Control the networks, control the data, control the innovation, control the people. Citizens become consumers, lives become data points.
And the boardroom's ultimate goal, Sofia described it as chillingly stark. Make a world where a hero like Captain America, a symbol of national identity, is impossible. Not by beating him, but by making the idea of America, or the Philippines, or Puerto Rico, or Korea irrelevant, turning unique cultures into quaint, powerless brands. Historical footnotes with no real influence in their global market.
It's anti-branding. A dismantling of cultural identity itself, making it meaningless in their flat, homogeneous world.
Any hero defending a specific culture just looks outdated, obsolete, a relic.
It's erasing the narrative framework entirely. No distinct stories, no distinct struggles, no distinct heroes possible.
Sage, right. A psychological flattening, eradicating the possibility of resistance. Truly terrifying when you think about it.
So that's the enemy, this insidious, systemic force. But against that, we get the Sentinels. And what's really cool is the story anchors on 3 formidable women, each embodying a different crucial part of this fight.
Past, present, and future, right.
Exactly. Their journey as they try to form a team asks this huge question. Can the past, the present, and the future actually learn to fight together, integrate their strengths? Or will those tensions pull them apart?
That question of past, present, future needing to collaborate, integrate, that really resonates, doesn't it? It feels like that generational tension we all deal with, but also this deep, urgent need for integration. Like you can't face what's coming if you haven't dealt with where you've been.
For sure.
So first up, representing the weight of the past, Captain Pinay, Dr. Alina Reyes from the Philippines. Sofia called her the burden of the past.
Man, that sounds heavy.
It is. Alina starts as an academic purist. History is sacred, something to study behind glass, protect from the messy present, definitely not something to use as a weapon.
Right.
But then ancient golden warrior queen armor, full of ancestral power, bonds with her, and she's horrified. She feels not just the strength, but the raw pain, the defeats, the unresolved trauma of her ancestors. She's terrified of disrespecting their legacy by turning it into a tool for modern war.
Okay, that makes so much sense, the sheer weight of it. How do you honor a deep past without being crushed by it? That's a real struggle. Yeah. Inherited trauma, responsibility of legacy. Her arc is learning that history isn't dead or static. It's alive. Dynamic. It demands action and the real disrespect. Standing by passively while her culture, her heritage, everything her ancestors fought for gets wiped out.
So she has to move from just guarding history to actively embodying it, becoming its agent, not just its keeper.
Exactly. Her journey is about carrying that weight without being paralyzed, synthesizing historical wisdom with urgent will. Strategically, her deep historical knowledge isn't just about facts. It's about seeing the patterns, the precedents, how the boardroom plays the long game. She uses the past to outsmart them.
And her look reflects this.
Totally. The 8-ray sun crest and lumen weave that visibly mends, like kintsugi, the Japanese art of repairing pottery with gold, highlighting the beauty in mended flaws. It's a powerful visual for healing and resilience.
Wow, kintsugi, that's beautiful. A perfect metaphor. Okay, so who's next? Bringing the fire of the present.
Captain Boricua, Marisol Maricruz from Puerto Rico. Sofia called her the fire of the present. You can almost feel the heat. Mari is pure righteous fury. Her elemental power-commanding flora, fauna, weather is a direct manifestation of her community's anger and Puerto Rico's long history of resistance.
She's a hammer, basically. Sees compromise as surrender.
Totally. Impulsive, incredibly powerful, sees compromise as weakness.
Ah, the danger of untempered anger. It's potent, fuels change, but uncontrolled. It can burn down everything, including what you're fighting for.
Exactly. There's a key moment where she unleashes hurricane winds to stop an enemy. But in her fury, she devastates her own community. Collateral damage on a heartbreaking scale.
Oof, that's the risk.
Uh,
How do you channel that fire without burning down your own house?
Her arc is learning that balance. Tempering fury with strategy, wisdom, understanding consequences. She realizes her power, the unbreakable will of her island, can be as destructive as the forces she hates. She learns from Captain Pinay's patience and Captain Taiguchi's strategy, evolving from raw force into a leader who gets that rebuilding is harder but more vital than just tearing down.
And her visuals reflect that.
Yet the Sol de Borican crest, the hurricane spiral lumen weave, captures that untamed energy focusing into intentional power.
Okay, and completing the core trio, the future. Captain Taiguchi, Jiun Kwan from South Korea. Her designation, the fear of the future, grabbed me. Fear, not what you expect from a hero.
Right. Ji-yoon is initially described as a ghost, haunted by her creation. The super soldier serum in her is the pinnacle of the boardroom's ideology. A perfect tech weapon, no messy emotions. She lives in fear and self-loathing, terrified of her power and what her existence means.
She's a product of their design.
Exactly. Her technopathy and strategic precognition are used defensively. Trusts no one, especially not herself.
That's incredibly heavy, the trauma of being a creation, not a choice. Especially when your creators are the enemy. That self-hatred, the isolation, it's a deep wound.
Her journey is about moving from wanting atonement to accepting responsibility for her power. This reluctant sisterhood with Elena and Mori breaks through her isolation, lets her learn to trust them, then finally trust herself.
So she reclaims her power, stops seeing it as a curse, starts seeing it as a tool.
Yes. Her intimate knowledge of the boardroom's tech and their cold mindset, the systems that made her, becomes her weapon. She dismantles their networks, their control grids from the inside. Her arc is realizing the future isn't something to fear, but something to fight for, to shape. Her sleek, high-tech look, crimson and blue, embodies that fusion of power and reclaimed heritage.
This team dynamic, past, present, future, needing each other, relying on each other's strengths, it's just so powerful. Integration, not isolation, is key. But Sofia made it clear, this is just the core three. The Neon Bonds universe is way bigger, filled with international captains fighting this homogenization.
Each reimagining a national hero, embodying cultural power, and often with this really upfront, unapologetic sensuality.
Yeah, that sensual realism part, even calling some sex goddesses, that stood out.
And it feels deliberate, right? Not just for shock value. It feels like a reclamation of female power, desire, sexuality, presented as strengths, not vulnerabilities, especially against an enemy like the boardroom, trying to erase all that messy human stuff.
Making sensuality itself an act of defiance. Raw, unapologetic. Brilliant.
Is a really interesting philosophical choice, especially for this genre. And it sets up a truly diverse global resistance.
Okay, let's touch on a few others Sofia mentioned, because they really build on this. First, Capitan Mexico, Alej Guzman. Athletic, voluptuous costume is a seductive take on caps, leather, mesh, flag emblem, fishnets. Luchador mom, Aztec craftsman dad. Powers from the Jade Serpent relic, strength, agility, seductive allure.
Seductive allure as a power. Again, super bold, strategically brilliant against the boardroom's cold logic, weaponizing genuine human connection, desire, passion, charisma. Her whole presence is resistance. Fiery, feisty, patriotic tactician, but also values intimacy, refuses to be just one thing.
Love it. Full package of defiance. Then Captain Kawaii from Japan, Akane Momoi. Curvy Kitsuna descendant costume mixes innocent kawaii frilly skirt, bustier with warrior gear, powers, pyrokinesis, agility, and again, potent seductive allure.
That duality is key again. Sweet kawaii surface hiding the cunning, powerful sex demon of lust. Navigating expectations versus embracing your complex self. Uses charm strategically, like her fox spirit ancestors. Rejects simple labels that flatten identity. Refusal to be categorized.
I dig that. Rejecting labels. Then Captain Siam, Nari Siam from Thailand, petite powerhouse, voluptuous costume showing midriff, corset, lace-up shorts, stilettos, shield with Garuda emblem, powers from the mythical Naga water manipulation.
And the paradox she embodies. Fiery passion inside, cool, calculated judgment outside, balancing emotion and strategy, like water, gentle and devastating. Hedonistic tendencies, enjoys life's pleasures, heart of gold. Defies simple morality. Fighting style, like a dance graceful, lethal, countering the boardroom's rigid systems.
Next, Captain Libertad from Colombia Isabella Gonzalez. Tall, voluptuous, striking Colombian flag colors, YU art patterns. Powers from a mystical emerald amulet linked to the moon goddess Chia, wields a golden lasso compelling truth, offers a powerful, seductive embrace, and her shield amplifies sexual energy.
Wow. Again, sensuality as power. Liberation. The lasso of truth is a direct hit against the boardroom's deception. She embodies life, pleasure, adventure, everything they try to suppress. What does it mean for a hero to be a symbol of desire, truth, passion, in a world craving homogeneity? It's a radical vision.
Captain Outback from Australia, Amber McIntyre, also tall, voluptuous, athletic, rugged leather, denim, kangaroo fur, opals, shield from eucalyptus bark, boomerang blade weapon, powers from the land, meteor shower connection, aboriginal mother, biologist father, command animal spirits, natural phenomena.
That deep dreamtime connection, grounded in the land. Ancient energy connects her sensuality to something deeper than just physical desire. It's primal power, rooted. The boomerang blade. Resilience, cyclical justice, fiercely independent, wild, unapologetic, a beacon of strength and sexuality fighting for connection to land and wisdom the boardroom wants to erase.
And finally, Captain Parati from India, Anjali Sharma. 27, tall, voluptuous, stunning red and gold brassiere, bare midriff, miniskirt, thigh highs, shield blends, peacock feathers, and the American eagle, interesting mix. Origin, imbued with power of Thousand Kama Sutras by Goddess of Desire, powers layered in Khajuraho temples, embodies love and lust, can seduce enemies into submission.
Tying heroic power directly to ancient arts of love and desire, spiritual and sensual, flips the script on traditional superpowers. Sensuality as literal liberation, potent force against oppression. Charismatic, mischievous, loyal, uses passion as ultimate resistance. Her very being challenges the sterile, emotionless world the boardroom wants. Living defiance.
Absolutely. So that really covers the incredible global scope and the philosophy behind the Sentinels. Now, Sofia also outlined this major crossover event introducing the Loom. Sounds like the boardroom's ultimate, most terrifying weapon.
It is, but not conventional. It's a quantum-level device designed to target and harvest cultural resonance. Think about that. Resonance as in the energy, deep meaning, shared history, collective soul and traditions, artifacts, ideas.
Harvesting meaning.
Yeah. It distills this cultural meaning into raw energy and then, even creepier, into a psychoactive drug for their elite, offering artificial profundity.
Whoa, cultural meaning as a drug.
Yeah.
That is bleakly brilliant satire on appropriation, right? Craving meaning so much you consume a fake stolen version speaks volumes about the void within these ultimate rationalists.
Totally. And the Loom can even unwrite history from tech. Turn culturally significant weapons, even in advanced mechs, into empty shells by severing that informational spiritual link, the ultimate cultural eraser, deleting the story from the objects themselves.
Okay, so who's vulnerable to that?
Uniquely vulnerable are the Neonverse Rangers, think Power Rangers types, from an off-world colony. They return to Earth with intel on the boardroom, but their mechs, like the Crimson Dragon Zord, are fundamentally reverse-engineered cultural artifacts, built by mimicking powerful cultural symbols from across the galaxy.
Ah, so they're built from the very stuff the Loom destroys. Makes them terrifyingly vulnerable. Brilliant narrative move. Highlights how even advanced tech is weak against a weapon targeting culture and meaning. Emphasizes the Sentinels' innate heritage-based power is the true counter.
Exactly. Their connection to roots is the organic counter to the boardroom's manufactured emptiness.
So how do they protect these Rangers from being, like, erased?
That's where the resonance bond comes in. To protect a Ranger, a Sentinel captain must form this deep, dangerous, profoundly intimate bond with the pilot.
Radical vulnerability.
Requires sharing memories, fears, identity, like this psychedelic mind meld. This deep connection becomes a literal shield against dehumanization. It's intimacy as a weapon, as salvation.
Intimacy as power. I absolutely love that. High risk, high reward creates intense interdependency. Vulnerability becomes strength, and it's two-way, right?
Yeah, which makes it even more potent. The captain feels the Ranger's tech anxieties. The Ranger feels the captain's cultural weight, ancestral burdens, and triumphs. Radical empathy forged in crisis.
Like Captain Bariko's fury being tempered by bonding with a disciplined pilot.
Exactly. Or Captain Japan, using her kintsugi-like powers to literally mend a comatose pilot's fractured psyche,
Wow.
valuing the broken pieces as part of the whole, healing through deep connection.
And there's one more group Sophia introduced. Prism. the Fast Strike Bridge unit.
Yes, and their origin is wild, almost accidental. A damaged Strider mech crashes near the Las Dalnilla tides. During the frantic beach rescue, a latent biotech in the water, Lumen Weave, gets activated not by tech, but by moonlight and human touch.
Living skin tech triggered by nature and human connection. That's incredibly cool. Organic digital hybrid. Symbiotic power.
Yeah, it marks a small group of civilians, ex-crew from the crash, who become Prism. Not captains, not Striders, something new. Witnesses turned weapons, drafted by Our X, the global resistance network.
And their power, the Lumen Weave, lights up through breath, rhythm, and crucially, consent. Creates neon circuitry patterns on their skin.
That consent-based activation is huge. A powerful ethical statement woven into the narrative. Not just plot, a core principle.
And the main Prism member, Prism, with her identity drift, sampling personas, needing anchors, feels incredibly now. Reflects the fluidity, maybe fragility, of online self-perception.
Totally. Their job is bridging worlds. Shielding Strider tech from the loom, working with captains, escorting bond pairs, running extractions, jamming boardroom propaganda.
Each Prism member has a color and power, right?
Yep. Aurora, gold, field lead, overdriver distribution. Siren, magenta, rhythm control, breath sync, voice pulses. Volt, neon blue, water tethers, speed. Ember, tangerine, heat lines, mirage cloaks. Nocturne, violet, shadow veils, memory smears. And Prism, pastel anomaly, full spectrum, identity drift, needs anchors.
It's a clear, versatile system. Aurora's redistribution is smart resource management. Siren's rhythm control is like harmonizing consciousness, calming, stabilizing.
And Our X facilitates release protocols, non-combat cooldowns, using breath, music, touch to store patterns, process intensity. It's a conscious way to help characters process, discharge energy, maintain mental health and consent within these high-stakes, intimate bonds. Psychologically vital.
That attention to mental health and consent as part of the story is fantastic. And the two cuts for key episodes, PG-13 Sentinels versus erotic Our X, with consent always baked in.
Yes, Sophia stressed. Consent is diegetic and gate-kept. Central to the ethical framework Daniel Bates and NVS are building for adult storytelling. It makes you ask, how does making consent a literal power mechanic reshape genre possibilities and challenge traditional power notions? Groundbreaking stuff.
Okay, so we've got the enemy, the boardroom, their insidious methods, and the Sentinels and Prism fighting back with identity, intimacy, consent. How does this epic philosophical battle actually end? What's the climax of the Sentinels? How do you win against a whisper?
What's fascinating is the climax isn't a city-leveling battle, or even a direct physical fight with the ultimate rationalists. That's the genius. The final fight is a targeted strike, not on a person or place, but on the boardroom's center of gravity. Its narrative of inevitability. Its control over the global story.
Attacking the idea, not just the infrastructure, dismantling their brand, their influence, their manufactured reality. That's incredibly smart. The only way you can win that kind of war.
So they orchestrate this massive global event. A Ji-yoon, Kevin Taguchi, uses her technopathy to hijack the live feed of a major international economic forum. Billions watching.
The world is watching, okay?
Then Captain Barikwa Mary provides the spectacle. Undeniable physical force, hurricane winds that can't be ignored. Elemental backdrop, nature reclaiming space, forcing media to acknowledge something big is happening. And Captain Pinay, Alina, delivers the killing blow. A clear, concise, historically irrefutable presentation, exposing the boardroom's entire model of disaster capitalism and cultural erasure. She doesn't just show crimes, she explains their twisted ideology, reveals it as hollow, destructive.
Oh, that's beautiful. Using their unique strengths together. Technopathy for infiltration, nature's power for impact, historical truth for narrative, multi-layered attack, mind, heart, foundation of their power. Brilliant.
Totally changes the game. The victory isn't an explosion leveling a building, it's a massive stock market crash.
Perfect.
Absolutely perfect. The immediate aftermath. International investigations launched. Activist groups worldwide fighting these quiet battles suddenly have proof, language, the narrative to fight back effectively. The Sentinels win by changing the story. Guardians of cultural memory, global antibodies to homogenization.
A profound victory through narrative shift, global consciousness change. That offers genuine hope. Empowers others to reclaim their stories, real lasting impact.
And Sofia Luna, seeing her pull these threads together, it makes so much sense. Her background Aura by Sophie, Dream 2 Real, 11SIX music, it all connects. She understands taste-making, silent influence, branding, how narratives take hold. She's not just telling a story, she's architecting a cultural counter-narrative. designing the antidote, protecting its integrity.
She's the one, like she said, who keeps the vision intact against money, brands, Hollywood watering it down, a guardian of authenticity.
Exactly. And this integrity reflects Daniel L. Bates's distinct voice, which Sophia also spoke about so passionately, his relentless emotional honesty. He writes proximity, fearlessly turning his own mess, his lived fights, his vulnerability into stories to make others feel seen, understood, less alone.
Yeah.
NVS's non-negotiables: no tobacco glamour, no glamorizing revenge, trauma told with depth or not at all, powerful testaments to that ethos. The studio, in his vision, is a healing machine disguised as a neon fever dream, offering confession, therapy, survival lessons wrapped in noir, sci-fi, fantasy, storytelling with a soul.
So the Sentinels is this massive, intricate world, but that's not all NVS has cooking, as we heard. Sophia also gave us glimpses into other projects, like The Illustrious Nobody, The Log Line. In a fast-paced urban city in 2024, a self-absorbed but well-meaning barista, Theo, believes he's the most fascinating man alive. He lives in elaborate fantasies, enters a citywide talent competition, faces a reality check, redefines what's interesting. But beneath delusions lies a deeper mystery. What is he trying so hard to escape? Sounds like a fascinating psych dive.
Yeah, connecting it to the broader NVS universe, Illustrious Nobody delves into self-deception, the search for the authentic self. Illusion versus reality, craving genuine connection, self-awareness, impact of trauma on persona creation. It's that painful journey from believing your own hype to facing the raw truth of who you are and why you built those walls, mirrors the larger fight for authenticity, just on a super personal scale.
Incredibly relatable. Everyone's got some Theo in them, right? Then there's Islands Between Us. Logline. Damon, 29, American. Known for charm and short romances. Travels to the Philippines for work. Fresh start. Meets Maya, fiercely independent artist, challenges his fear of commitment. Connection deepens. Damon must confront past or lose her. Former fling resurfaces. Maya faces own choice. Damon realizes love isn't just attraction, it's choosing someone, even when it's hard.
This makes you ask, how do we bridge the emotional cultural gaps, the islands, between our perceived and true selves, especially in relationships? Islands Between Us explores intimacy across cultural and personal divides, illusion of easy love versus hard-won reality of authentic love, fear of vulnerability, how cultural identity plays into belonging, connection, finding courage to choose difficult, real love over easy passion, the growth that comes with it.
Wow, so many layers. And honestly, we've only just scratched the surface of what Neon Vision Studios is building. We know Neon Bonds 2027 is teased as the culmination of everything NVS is creating, a true cinematic universe.
But like Sophia said, that's for its own time, its own depth. We'll save that for a future, even deeper deep dive. But what's fascinating, looking at all these stories, Sentinels, Illustrious Nobody, Islands Between Us, is how they all circle back to that central idea. Cultural identity is a battleground, globally and personally. The fight for self, connection, heritage, it's universal.
It really makes you stop and think, doesn't it? This whole Sentinels concept. The climax isn't a big boom. It's a victory of narrative. Hijacking a forum, exposing ideology, crashing markets, launching investigations. A win achieved not by force, but by changing the story, waking people up.
Indeed. It leaves this echo that empowers others to see through the lies, reclaim their own narratives. And this makes you consider, personally, how much of your own story, your identity, are you maybe unconsciously letting the boardroom, or its personal equivalent, that whisper of efficiency, conformity, chip away at? What quiet battles are we losing every day without realizing? The fight for cultural memory, for authenticity in this increasingly smoothed out world, it's not just for superheroes, it's an everyday, vital struggle for all of us. And knowing this is just one piece of the Neon Vision Studios universe, it makes me truly curious, really excited about what else is coming.